Welcome to Pereira News, everybody. I'm Osniel, your man on the ground, here to give you the latest updates from beautiful Pereira. You know, for all you expats out there, it's like you're home away from home. Except, hopefully with fewer, let's call them cultural differences than what you're used to. This week we've got a little bit of everything, good news, bad news, and some news that'll make you say, wait, what? We're talking robberies, car crashes, even a little bit of murder. Don't worry, we've got some positive vibes too with celebrations and good old-fashioned community spirit. So buckle up, grab your Tinto, and get ready for your weekly dose of Pereira news, because staying informed is important, people, especially when you're living in a new place where, let's face it, you might not know all the best escape routes yet. Just kidding. Maybe let's jump right in. Alright, folks. First up, we've got a story that's like the Colombian version of Catch Me If You Can, except with less Leonardo DiCaprio and more, well, stolen Rolexes. Seems there's a notorious thief on the loose, and they call him Yonnifer. Now, I don't know about you, but when I hear the name Yonnifer, I picture someone's sweet abuela offering me arepas. This guy? Not so much. Yonnifer's been cleaning up across South America, Bogota, Brazil, and now he's set his sights on Pereira. He's got a thing for luxury watches, especially Rolexes, and he's got a taste for the finer things, apparently, because he's been spotted driving around in not one, but two different vehicles. The kicker? Both with the same fake license plate, JN. Bold move, Yonnifer. Bold move. Authorities are urging everyone to be on high alert. So if you see someone who looks vaguely like they enjoy a good Rolex, maybe with a JN bumper sticker, do not approach them. Just call the authorities and let them handle it, unless you're a superhero, in which case, please, by all means, step in. We could use a hero around here. Well, folks, it seems crime doesn't take a holiday in Dosquebradas. In fact, it decided to spice things up a bit by hitting a bakery in broad daylight. That's right, a bakery. Two armed criminals decided to swap out the smell of fresh bread for, well, the smell of fear. They stormed into a bakery in the El Japón neighborhood, waving guns around like they were trying to fan themselves with baguettes. Sadly, nobody offered them a croissant to calm down, and they ended up robbing the customers at gunpoint. Now, this whole thing was caught on security cameras, because even criminals can't resist the allure of a good panda bono. But the footage has just raised more questions about the ongoing security crisis in Dosquebradas. Residents are understandably on edge and calling on Mayor Roberto Jimenez to, maybe do something about it. Maybe invest in some security guards who aren't afraid of a little gluten. Look, I'm all for supporting local businesses, but even I draw the line at armed robbery for a pan de queso. Get it together, Dosquebradas. It'll calm the nerves, trust me. Okay, folks, we're moving over to Dosquebradas, where apparently someone's got a serious case of Hyundai envy. Two of them gone, vanished, like magic, but with less doves and more crowbars. These thieves, they weren't messing around. They waltzed past security systems like they owned the place, grabbed those Hyundais and hightailed it out of there. Word on the street is they were last seen heading towards Santa Rosa de Cabal or Manizales. Now, if you happen to be driving a Hyundai in those areas, maybe invest in a steering wheel lock or, park it in your living room. Look, I'm not saying these thieves are professionals, but they're definitely giving those fancy Ocean's 11 guys a run for their money. So, Hyundai owners, be vigilant, be alert, and maybe invest in a bumper sticker that says, "This car is protected by a very angry goose." Just to keep things interesting. Alright folks, we're talking hit and runs, and not the kind involving a baseball diamond. This time it's a female motorcyclist in Villa Santana and a red car with a serious lack of conscience. Picture this, you're cruising on your motorcycle, wind in your hair, feeling good. Then bam, you're eating pavement, courtesy of some jerk in a red car who couldn't even be bothered to stop and ask if you need a hand or a neck brace or, an ambulance. Naturally, the driver decided to pull a disappearing act. Now, if you happen to see a red car with a dented bumper, a guilty look, or a bumper sticker that says, "I brake for nobody," you might want to give the authorities a call. Because seriously, folks, hitting someone and driving off, that's not just bad driving, that's bad karma. And we all know karma can be a real, let's just say you don't want to mess with karma, you get me? Welcome back to Pereira News, where the good times are fleeting and the bad times, they just keep on coming. Another homicide in Dosquebradas, this time near Minuto de Dios Park. Two friends were hanging out, enjoying the park. Allegedly, they were also consuming drugs. Suddenly, two gunmen appeared, turning the park into a crime scene. One man, known as El Sealy, was killed and his friend was injured. This is another tragic example of rising violence in Dosquebradas. Sometimes I feel like a broken record on this show, reporting on one shooting after another. But unfortunately, that's the reality here in Pereira. And just when you thought things couldn't get any worse, Dosquebradas decides to one-up itself. Remember that homicide at Minuto de Dios Park we just talked about? Yeah, just a few hours later, another shooting went down, this time in La Graciela. And before you ask, no, it wasn't a drive-by shooting at a children's birthday party, though at this point I wouldn't be surprised. This latest shooting, which left one person dead and two injured, is apparently part of some ongoing gang conflict in the area. And when I say ongoing, I mean these guys are more committed to beefing than Kanye West is to anything Kanye West does these days. The problem is this isn't an isolated incident. There have been shootings in nearby neighborhoods too. And it seems like the violence is escalating faster than the price of coffee beans after one of those fancy barista championships. Look, I'm all for a good latte art competition, but not at the expense of innocent people's safety. Folks, it seems like the violence in Pereira is taking a page out of Hollywood's playbook, because we've got another tragic sequel for you. This time, the target is a taxi driver, and sadly, this isn't the first time we've seen this movie. Our story takes place in the Los Inquilinos neighborhood of Dosquebradas. Yes, you heard that right. Dosquebradas is back at it again. It seems like every time we mention that town, someone ends up looking at a 10-year prison sentence. This poor taxi driver was just doing his job, driving around, maybe listening to some Colombian salsa music, when suddenly he becomes the victim of a shooting. And it's bad when even the taxi drivers, who are basically veterans of navigating dangerous streets, are starting to get worried. It's like watching a seasoned lion tamer suddenly get nervous around a house cat. The authorities are, of course, investigating the case, but in the meantime, taxi drivers in the area are understandably on edge. They're calling for increased security measures. And frankly, who can blame them? It's getting so bad, they might start asking passengers for character references before agreeing to a ride. Alright folks, let's head back to Pereira, where the mayor is taking serious steps to tackle crime. It's one thing to have police officers, but they need the right tools to fight crime. Imagine catching a criminal in a patrol car that sounds like a rusty blender. Mayor Salazar is investing 20 billion pesos in a security upgrade. Think of it as a Black Friday sale for the police. 30 new patrol cars, 50 motorcycles, and enough surveillance cameras to make Big Brother blush. 20 billion pesos? That's a lot of empanadas. 80% of current vehicles are held together with duct tape. This investment ensures cops can respond to emergencies without flagging down a bus. The hope is that these upgrades will help police react faster and patrol more effectively. Maybe, just maybe, make criminals think twice before causing trouble. At least the streets of Pereira will be safer for those 50 new motorcycles. Now let's shift gears from all the crime drama and talk about something a little more uplifting, shall we? Because amidst all the chaos, the good people of Risaralda still know how to throw a party. This past week they celebrated the region's 58th anniversary. Risaralda turned 58 and they celebrated in style with music, dancing, and a vibrant parade. The whole shebang went down in Mistrato and the entire region showed up to join the fiesta. It was a beautiful reminder that even in the face of challenges, there's always a reason to come together and celebrate. Well folks, that's all for this week's Pereira News. We've had a roller coaster of a ride, haven't we? From daring robberies and car chases to community celebrations and security investments, Pereira has kept us on our toes. If you found this update helpful, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and maybe even ring that little notification bell so you never miss an update. And while you're at it, let me know in the comments what's on your mind. What's your biggest concern about Pereira right now? What stories do you think deserve more attention? Your voice matters, so let's hear it. For now, stay safe, stay informed, and remember, even when things look bleak, there's always a reason to keep dancing. See you next time.